Whenever somebody loses money to a scam, people usually say, ano siya naniwala? Obvious naman na scam. O, di ako maluloko. But honestly, that last sentence may be the most dangerous one. Because the moment you believe I'm too smart to be scammed, you stop building safeguard. And modern scams do not always look suspicious. Sometimes they look like your bank, government agency, an employer, an immigration consultant, a successful investor, a friend, a church member, or a kababayan you already trust. The website looks professional. The documents look official. The group chat is full of people posting profits. The investment dashboard keeps rising. Sometimes they even allow a small withdrawal just to prove everything is real. That is why scams work. They do not begin by asking you to believe something ridiculous. They begin with something possible, emotionally attractive, and close to what you already want. So the real question is not why are people so gullible? It is how do scammers make intelligent people stop checking? So, research suggests there is no single scam victim personality. Different scams target different vulnerabilities. A financial knowledgeable person may reject an unrealistic investment, but still panic when someone claiming to be from the bank says, your account has been compromised. Move your money now. Someone who distrusts strangers may still invest because the opportunity came from a friend, a relative, a respected community leader, or a church group. That is because scams do not always attack what they attack how you feel. Afraid, hopeful, lonely, pressured financially, insecure, or desperate for a problem to finally disappear. For Global Pinoys, cross border life creates more openings. We deal with immigration documents, overseas recruitment, remittances, family emergencies, investment opportunities, and urgent requests from people we cannot always verify in person. This does not mean Filipinos are more gullible. It means we have more emotional and financial doors scammers can knock on. Hindi kailangan patunayan ng scammer na tanga ka. Kailangan lang niyang mahanap kung nung emotion kayang pagmadali sa'yo. So for point one, the scammer steals trust before stealing money. Before asking for money, scammers build credibility. They may use copied logos, professional websites, fake credentials, caller ID, proving testimonials, and social media profiles that appeared established. Then there is affinity fraud. This happens when scammers exploit trust inside a group with a shared identity. Ethnic communities, churches, immigrant networks, workplaces, or professional group, a respected person may recommend the opportunity, but sometimes that person is also a victim. They receive an early payout, they tell friends, those friends tell relatives, and suddenly nobody verifies independently because kilala naman natin siya. But trusting the person introducing the investment is not the same as verifying the investment. The person may be honest, the opportunity can still be fraudulent. Hindi mo kailangan pagdudahan ang kaibigan mo. Pero kailangan mo pa rin i-verify investment na ipinakilala niya. Point two, scammers create emotion before demanding action. One trust is established. The scammer changes your emotional state. Some use fear. Your account is under attack. Your immigration status is at risk. Your child is in trouble. Otherwise, use hope. This can pay off your debt. You can retire early. You can finally bring your family home. Then they add urgency. Act now. The slot closes tonight. Do not tell anyone. Fear and hope sounds like opposite emotions, but they serve the same purpose. They make slowing down feel dangerous. Calling your bank feels too slow. Asking your spouse feels embarrassing. Researching the company feels like you might miss the opportunity. So you act not because the evidence is strong, but because immediate action feels safer than waiting. Kapag minamadali ka, hindi ka binibigyan ng pagkakataong mag-isip. Kadalasan, iyon mismo ang plano. So point three, small commitments make the scam harder to leave. Sophisticated scams rarely ask for everything immediately. They begin with a small investment, a processing fee, a crypto deposit, or an invitation to a private group. Then they show you fake evidence. The dashboard says your money increased. The group celebrates successful withdrawals. Sometimes you are allowed to withdraw a small amount. That first success feels like proof, but it may simply be the cost of earning your confidence. Then the requests grow. To withdraw the larger amount, you suddenly need to pay taxes, verification fees, account unlocking charges, or additional capital. Now you have already invested money, time, trust, and reputation. Walking away means admitting that the first decision may have been wrong. So you send more, hoping the next payment will rescue the previous one. The first payment buys the opportunity. The second payment often buys the hope that the first payment was not a mistake. So the part people miss, I think, is this. Most victims do not fall for the whole scam in one decision. They fall through a sequence. One reply, one phone call, one document, one deposit. One fake profit, one additional fee. Each step makes the next step feel consistent with what they already accepted. And when the scam becomes obvious from the outside, the person inside may already be carrying sunk costs, fear, secrecy, and shame. That is why saying, "How could you be so stupid?" does not help. Shame can make victims hide the problem, delay reporting, and send more money while trying to recover privately. The final lock in many scams is not technology, it is embarrassment. So when someone tells us they were scammed, the first response should not be judgment. It should be, what happened? What did they ask you to do? And how quickly can we stop the next transaction? Kapag may naloko, unahin natin yung pagputol sa scam. Hindi yung pagdagdag dun sa hiya niya. What I would do if I had to build a practical anti-scam system, I would use three rules. First, never make an unexpected financial decision inside someone else's deadline. If a message creates panic, excitement, secrecy, or urgency pause, do not use the phone number, email, or link they provided. Close the conversation, then contact the bank, government agency, employer, or a family member using a channel you already know is legitimate. If it's real, it will still be real after you verify it. Second, create a two-person rule before sending money for an unsolicited investment, emergency request, a crypto opportunity, or an unexpected transfer. Talk to one trusted person who is not emotionally involved. Not because you cannot make decisions, because somebody outside the pressure may see what the emotion. Make this a family rule. No major unexpected transfer happens in secrecy, especially when somebody says, do not tell. Then verify the structure, not only the story. Ask, is the person licensed? Is the company registered? Where is the money being held? Are returns guaranteed? Why am I being pressured? Why am I sending money to a personal account? A professional looking app is not proof. A small withdrawal is not proof either. Third, if money has already been sent, act immediately. Stop communicating with the scammer. Do not send another payment to release the funds, pay taxes, unlock the account, or hire someone promising recovery for an upfront fee. Contact your bank, card issuer, payment platform, crypto exchange, or money transfer company asks whether the transaction can be stopped, recalled, or flagged. Save screenshots, receipts, phone numbers, usernames, wallet addresses, and the full conversation, and tell somebody you trust and report it. The moment you suspect a scam, your job is no longer to prove that you were right. Your job is to protect whatever is still left. So, this is not saying victims have no responsibility. We still need to check what we buy, where we send money, and who we trust. But responsibility is different from blame. The criminal is still the person who fabricated the evidence, impersonated the authority, manipulated the emotion, isolated the victim, stole the money. When we treat victims as stupid, two things happen. Victims become afraid to speak, and the rest of us maintain the illusion that intelligence alone will protect. It will not. Scammers can study what we post, who we trust, what groups we belong to, and which dream or fear is most likely to move us. So the real defense is not, I'm too smart to be scammed. It is, I know that under the right pressure, I am human. So I build systems that force me to slow down, separate trust from verification, urgency from action, emotion from payment, embarrassment from reporting. Because the smartest person can still become vulnerable when the scam tells them exactly what they desperately want. Fear to hear. Ikaw, which emotion do scammers use most effectively? Fear, hope, urgency, trust, loneliness, and which scam is most dangerous for global Pinoys right now? Fake investments, bank impersonation, job and immigration scams, or emergency requests from people who we think we know? Comment mo nga. This is a conversation we need to have without laughing victim. Because the next person targeted could be someone loved. Or simple, honest conversations about money, behavior, scams, and protecting what we build. Follow along, break it down so we can build wealth and make safer financial decisions step by step, hindi instant, pero posible.